And we push in on Charles the Truth Foster. He comes out of West Haven, Connecticut. He's now won 22 fights without a blemish on his record, as is the case with some others on this card. At 33 years of age, time is not his biggest ally. We first saw Foster here on ShoBox way back in 2018 when he outboxed and outworked the then undefeated Alvin Barmal Jr. That was over 8 rounds. Foster has not been an active fighter in recent years, though. He didn't fight at all in 2020, the COVID year, because of all that. He fought only once in 2021, and he did fight twice last year. Most recently, Foster scored a 6-round stoppage. That was in a tune-up fight against a less experienced opponent, and it took place just before Christmas. Foster's a left-hander who says, if I have to brawl, I'll brawl. If I have to box, I'll box. He's ranked number 15 by the IBF right now. Tonight's fight will be the most important of his career. So, Brian, let's go behind the numbers with Charles the Truth Foster.
Well, Barry, you mentioned that inactivity throughout the pandemic and really a lot of the 5 years since Foster last fought on ShoBox. But tonight does mark his 3rd fight in the last 12 months as he starts to stay more active. And talk about a hell of an upgrade. Foster scored a TKO here in Verona on the off-TV undercard of last year's ShoBox trip to the Boxing Hall of Fame. Tonight, he returns to that same ring, but in the main event. And been there and done that, although both prospects tonight in the main event are over 30. Foster is a ShoBox alum with significantly more pro experience, including double the total fights and rounds of Ismailov.
Here's our first look at Ali Ismailov. He's taken up residence now in Miami after settling in the U.S., first in Detroit from his native Malgobek, Russia. Tonight, he fights for the 6th time here in America. He's fought twice in Belarus, once in Latvia, and he has not lost anywhere. Ismailov turned pro at late age because of a lengthy and a very successful amateur career, over 200 fights. And at 30 years old, he's been a pro now for only 3 years. He's been a relatively active pro, though, over the past couple of years, fighting 3 times last year, once this year. His last start, a tune-up in March, which resulted in a first-round knockout. Ismailov is a big puncher who has 7 knockouts in his 10-fight career. He is trained by former 2-division world champion, speaking of big punchers, John David Jackson, and has been working with a strength and conditioning coach as well for this fight. Ismailov is ranked number 5 by the IBF, number 11 by the WBO. He says about his style, sometimes you need to be aggressive, sometimes you need to play around. Brian, take us behind the numbers with Ali Ismailov.
Well, Barry, although Ismailov is considered a very bright light heavyweight prospect, he debuted at cruiserweight, and tonight just marks the 2nd time in his pro career he's weighed at or below the 175-pound limit. This young fighter has really made the rounds. Despite just 10 pro fights, Ismailov has experience going late after boxing into the 8th round 3 times and one 10-round performance last August. And no guts, no glory. Ismailov has also matched himself tough as a professional, twice defeating unbeaten prospects last year alone, and he's fought just 1 opponent as a pro with a losing record.
All right, thus it's time for the main event. Ali Ismailov against Charlie Foster. Light heavyweights were scheduled for 10 rounds. For the final time this evening, we go to the center of the ring. Here's our ring announcer once again, the Hall of Famer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the beautiful Turning Stone Resort Casino in Verona, New York for the ShoBox, the new generation featured attraction of the evening, brought to you by Salida Promotions in association with Murphy's Boxing, DeBella Entertainment, and Showtime, as sponsored by Ambrosia. This bout or main event is sanctioned by the IBF. The president is Daryl Peoples, supervisor in attendance George Martinez. Introducing our 3 judges, scoring from ringside, Don Ackerman, Glenn Feldman, and Tom Schreck. Introducing our referee in charge, giving instructions after the introductions, Charlie Fitch. All right, fans, here we go with the ShoBox, the new generation main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing in a battle of undefeated fighters for the USBA Light Heavyweight Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance, and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Verona, New York, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner, is the challenger. Wearing white trunks with gold and burgundy trim, he weighed in at a ready 172 1/4 pounds. He is undefeated with a record of 22 wins, no losses, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. From New Haven, Connecticut, he is ranked the IBF number 15 light heavyweight contender. Introducing the undefeated Charles "The Truth" Foster. And his opponent across the ring is the defending champion. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gray trunks with black trim, he weighed in at 174 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring. His record 10 wins, no losses, 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked the number 5 light heavyweight in the world by the IBF, fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Please welcome the undefeated USBA light heavyweight champion, Ali Ismailov. Once again, a referee in charge is Charlie Fitch, now to give instructions.
Good evening, Charles. Good evening, Ali. Gentlemen, you both know the rules. Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves now. Come out fighting at the bell.
Here's the tail of the tape for our main event. A couple-inch height advantage for Charles Foster. Also a 4-inch reach advantage to watch in this contrast of styles between the boxer Foster and the puncher Ismailov. And for the final time, the rules of the bout: only the referee can stop the fight. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. And in case of an accidental foul, the fight is official after the 4th.
So here we go, round 1. And this is, as you said, a styles make fight kind of fight. Ismailov will be the stalker. Comes with the right hand of the body right out of the box.
Right.
One thing to look for right away is Ali Ismailov's trainer, John David Jackson, said his power is a very special kind, the kind you have to see to believe. Let's see how Foster reacts to that early.
Hold him, Charles. You're holding him.
Well, so far, Ismailov doing the right thing. As soon as the bell rang, he cut that distance quick.
Let's take a look at the amateur experience there. A huge advantage in the favor of Ali Ismailov, who came to the sport late, spent nearly a decade as an amateur with big-time international experience. When it comes to the pro experience, you see Foster turned pro back in 2011. He has more than twice the total fights and rounds of Ismailov.
Early on, Ismailov trying to work the body. Trying to bring the arms down of Foster.
Yeah, he's putting that jab on Foster and throwing his right hand to the body or to the chest. Still not aiming for the head. And he needs a good body attack early on to stop Foster in his tracks, because Foster's he's gonna be moving.
Right now they're just kind of measuring each other, literally measuring each other. Ismailov is a stalker, and that's the way this fight looks right now.
Yeah, he's very confident in just walking up to Foster, giving him no respect.
That was a good shot from Ismailov. Another right hand. Foster doesn't seem affected by it.
Yeah, that was a solid right hand by Ismailov. Foster took it pretty well.
There's a right hand from Foster. Again, Ismailov's just literally just stalking and looking for the right spots.
Well, Ismailov loves to punch from very close range. The key, though, is he has very good upper trunk movement defensively. Doesn't stay in the line of fire often, but likes to stay close enough where he can really bother you, especially to the body.
Foster just keeps kind of sticking that right hand out. Doesn't really throw it, he's just sticking it out. We had a chance to talk to both these fighters about strategy for this fight. Here first is Ali Ismailov.
Стратегия у нас очень серьезная.
My strategy will be to come up, pressure him, break him down, and knock him out.
Early rounds, just sit in front of him, but don't sit in front of him at a long range. Pop my jab, make him frustrated, throw a lot of good body shots, straight left hand to the body, and make him tire out.
Depend on your jab, and anytime you're inside, go to that body. Touch your body. You're better than him, way better. You showed it in this round. Let's go, baby. Mouthpiece, mouthpiece.
So round two of this 10-round fight. Both fighters really kind of doing in that first round what they said they would do.
Yeah, they're both trying to establish the correct distance for their pace of the fight. But I think Ismailov was more successful in that first round.
A backhand jab that Foster throws.
I think he just puts that jab out there to set up his left hand. I mean, Foster's coming off of 3 consecutive knockouts, so his confidence would be up there. Just showing some power in the last 3 fights.
Good left hand for Foster, and another one behind it. Counter right hand, just short from Ismailov.
Foster told us this change in mindset to be more aggressive came about because he feels like there's more in him to show. He regrets not stepping on the gas more 5 years ago when he fought here on ShoBox and won a decision. And like we said earlier, he expects to take more chances. Let's see what happens as Ismailov continues to close the distance against him.
Yeah, he's been effective thus far.
Yeah, Foster did say he wants to see what Ismailov is really made out of, if he really is the real deal. And it looks like he's tested him because he's standing more in the pocket. I expected Foster to really move around a lot more than what I've seen him right now, Barry.
Now look at the way Ismailov now is just trying to push that arm, the right arm of Foster off of him. Well, 2 punches from Ismailov and an answer from Foster.
Break! Clean break!
Foster just creating that distance, putting that arm there, like at least he's putting that jab there. That's very smart of him. Keeping Ismailov at bay, because that's really where his fight is at, Barry. Mid-long range for Foster.
Yeah, and so far he's done that.
And it's just enough to keep, yeah, it's enough to keep Ismailov away and not close that gap. This is a better round for Foster.
Foster throwing that jab a little bit, not just showing it. Good right hand from Foster. Good round for Foster.
I agree.
Well, now streaming on our digital platform, SOG, the Book of Ward, which tells the most improbable rise of one of boxing's most guarded champions, Andre Ward.
Andre Ward!
You have to understand what I've been through. All of it made me into the man that I am today.
32-0. His brother Andre Ward was great.
I'm going to do things my way.
Worth watching. About Andre Ward, retired, undefeated. Not many can make that statement. This is round 3. Our main event, Ali Ismailov, Charles Foster.
Somewhat of a slow start here for Ismailov.
Yeah, very surprisingly. Yeah, I expected more out of him right off the blocks. I mean, he did close that gap quick, but I seen him in past fights use his jab a lot more, and he's not using it like he's supposed to. He's got a really good jab. Like I said at the beginning, he's got one of those jabs that frustrates you, you know, and he's not doing that right now in this 3rd round.
I think that right hand of Foster is just bothering.
It is. It is. It's enough to keep him at bay. Because like you said, Barry, Foster just paused and puts that long arm on. He's got the long reach. And then he lands that left hand. There he is doing it again.
Good defense from Foster in close, and he answers back with a clean counter.
Yeah. It's kind of been the story of the fight for him.
I'm telling you, Ismailov is not going to win at that distance. He's got to find a way to get in. He's got to attack from the side, the other side, not just come forward. He's got to find a way to get away from that long jab that he just paused. Foster just paused.
Yeah, and he's trying to parry that jab, but whenever he does, Foster throws the left hand.
That's the key. Not only is Foster controlling distance well, but each time Ismailov gets inside, he's punching his way out of trouble.
Look at that, keeps turning him. He's fighting very intelligent right now, Foster. Ismailov needs to get rough in there. He needs to rough him up. When Foster puts that, see how he puts that jab there? He just puts it out there. Ismailov needs to hook to the elbow or hook underneath the uppercut to the elbow. It's the boxing game that you got to do something to hurt that jab, and he'll stop throwing it or pawn it out there. If you hit the elbow with an uppercut or on the side with a hook, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt Foster, and he'll stop pawing it out there. Because that pawing is, when you paw it, it's frustrating. It frustrates you. See, it keeps you thinking. He doesn't know what to do with it.
It's also an interesting jab because it's not a straight jab.
No, and it's not a hard jab.
No.
Yeah.
Foster told us the difference in this fight, in his opinion, would be his IQ and his conditioning. So far, the former is playing a big role.
Absolutely.
Good right hands there from Ismailov along the ropes. High, then low to the body.
Another good round for Foster.
Absolutely.
Breathe. You're not even tired. When you make him back up, he freezes and he starts doing this. You gotta take advantage of that. You gotta use your jab to step inside, but you gotta let your combinations go. Get a little more busy. He landed a few shots toward the end, nothing big, but you don't need him to steal around like that, all right? Yeah. You're better than that. Come on. Press him sometime going forward. Press him left into the body. Use that jab to get inside. Make him stop on his track. Don't let him just come forward. Don't let him know that. Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece, Chuck. Breathe.
This is round 4. And so far, Ismailov not able to solve the riddle in front of him.
And that's because he's fighting at Foster's pace. He's got to fight at his pace. He's got to suffocate him. He's got to attack more. He's got to get in his grill and go for it. It's already the 4th round. He's letting those rounds go. And Foster is fighting at the pace that he wants. He's very relaxed. He keeps pawing with the jab, throwing the left hand. He holds him on the inside. He spins him around. There he is, holding him. Spin him around. And he's going for it. Ismailov is going for it. He's not. You got to wake up. You got to do something.
You know, I got to ask you guys too about Ismailov's beard. Normally, it used to be that you know you couldn't
pretty
do
padded.
That any kind of uppercut, I would think, would just get absorbed by the beard.
Anytime of head clashing, you never know what can happen with a long beard like that.
Let's bring Steve Farhood in now. Steve, what about the first 3 rounds on your card? Nice body shot from Foster. Steve?
The first round was clearly Ismailov's round, but since then Foster has turned the tables a little bit, controlling the pace of the fight and the distance. Not much offense so far, really, from either fighter, but I've given Foster the second and third rounds, and he seems to be doing pretty well in the fourth as well. Foster had 29-28 after 3 rounds.
All right, thanks. Of course, we'll get back to you. Steve Farhood, our unofficial scorer.
Look, the confidence of Foster is growing. He's punching with Ismailov and trading. You do have to wonder if that is going to become a detriment because we've heard so much about the big power of Ismailov.
And I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I've seen more power from Foster. I've seen Foster, he's landed his left hand more now at will. He's more accurate with his left hand. And it's bothering him, Ismailov. He looks worried.
There's a good left hand right there from Foster. And what he's doing is stepping in with a good shot and then tying Ismailov up so he can't respond.
One thing to note, Ismailov has fought good competition. As a pro, as an amateur, he fought former light heavyweight title contender Dmitry Savkotsky in his second pro fight.
Yeah, now the question you have to have is if Ismailov really does have the kind of power that we've talked about and we've heard, will that change the whole fight with one punch?
Well, we haven't seen it so far.
No, we haven't.
And Foster does have a lot of experience. He's got a lot more fights. He's gone the distance many times. He's got a lot of rounds under his bag. And he's showing it right now.
No question.
You gotta cut that ring off. Keep that pressure on. Come on, let those hands go inside.
Round 5 in this fight so far. Foster has fought the smarter fight.
While I was unable to translate the Russian to English in the corner, the body language of Ismailov talking to his team did not look positive here as we enter round 5.
Foster, he's fighting his fight. He's very composed. He's very focused. See, those shots, none of those shots got in by Ismailov.
No, they didn't.
Good shoulder roll there by Foster. Should have countered off of that. I think Ismailov looks frustrated, guys.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. Single punching too much. He's got to. I need to see him put them together. Like, it's not like 1, 2, 1, 2. It's got to be like rat tat 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 tat. You know, like touch touch touch, and he's not doing that.
Ismailov still, I think, bothering, or rather, Foster bothering Ismailov with that right hand.
Yeah, Foster's fighting a very educated fight here. You can see that pro experience shining. And it's not without danger, like we mentioned. He's punching in close range, but either clinching or stepping away at just the right moment.
Good example right there.
I think those distance fights that he's gone, I believe he's gone like 10 rounds 3 times. And it's paying off. I'm telling you, those rounds, that's experience under under the bag, and that's helping out Foster right now. He really is.
Foster's been at least 8 rounds 5 separate times in addition to those 3 10-rounders.
There you go, Mike. Brian, sorry. Where did I call you Mike? I'm thinking about Mike Tyson or something.
Yeah, that's very similar. Same punching power.
You look like Mike. Maybe you look like Mike Tyson.
The right hand, but one only from Ismailov. Right hand again did get there from Ismailov. Foster comes
maybe a little bit better round for Ismailov. Maybe he's coming.
Break,
no punches. Flip over.
He's got to keep that momentum going. Can't let off the gas. I mean, I think he's got something going in this round, but Foster's he moves. He's got good defense. He's slippery.
Nice counter there from Foster. Ismailov tried to go to the body. Foster came with the left hand, caught him right in the chin. Two punches from Ismailov.
Oh!
And a right hand dropped him right at the end of this round. Out of the blue.
It's the power we're looking for.
Hey! Step to me! Walk to me!
He's fine, and the round is over, but boy, did it change everything.
Yeah, that makes it a 10-8 round.
You gotta stop fooling around.
I'm not my shoulder.
I know.
Fuck. Like in the beginning of the round.
Breathe.
Maybe I'm trying to throw my jab now. I feel like it's coming out.
Work off it. Work off it. Work off with your left hand. Left hand. Under. Clinch him. Lay on him. Yep. Breathe. Breathe.
Here we see how it was done. Pinpoint right down the middle. It was a jab, and here we see it again. And Foster was hurt. Very accurate with his shot right there. Ismailov, there's the jab and the right hand. Right on the chin, right in the button better.
Perfect shot.
And we saw that power.
Now,
one shot.
Did you and I hear what we thought we heard early when he came into the corner?
Sounded like Charles Foster had told his team that he injured one of his shoulders at the start of the last round.
So we're going to see now.
His trainer, Luis Rosa Sr., told him to just use the left hand, so you have to wonder if that's the right shoulder. We'll see how much that compromises him moving forward.
Well, and isn't that what you talked about too, Raul? Go ahead and hit that arm.
Yeah, hit that arm, and it could have been that. It could have been that. And as you can see, Foster not the same in this round.
No, well, he's not.
His activity's not the same, for sure.
He's also not sticking that right hand out.
Nope. He's just got to go for broke and throw a buffet of left hands. Go left hand crazy.
Tried to throw that jab. It was one only. He's flicking the jab now. That appears to be okay.
Break!
But the knockdown, of course, makes that a 2-point round.
Potential big swing.
Another good shot with the right hand from Ismailov. And this fight changing rather quickly here.
Now Ismailov is... Now he's coming. Now he's breaking him down. Complaining about the holding.
Yeah, he is.
Break!
Uh-oh. He's doing a Roy Jones on him. The hand behind his head. I mean, behind his back.
This is something Ismailov likes to do.
Yeah, he likes to...
he likes to rely on that head movement, try to induce punching from his opponents.
There he is again.
That's some confidence for you.
Break!
Well, clearly things have changed here. Whether it's an injury or whether it's just Ismailov kind of figuring things out, I don't know.
It's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both, but he's definitely bringing it on. He's bringing it now, Ismailov. His confidence definitely grew after that knockdown in the last round.
Quick right hand again, got there.
Yeah, Foster not the same. not the same like the first couple of rounds.
Well, to be fair, that's what John David Jackson told us. Once the power hits clean, no one is the same. He said they've had heavyweights who refuse to spar Ismailov because of that.
Right, a left hand rather from Foster, but not much behind it. Stepped into that shot, just wasn't quite flush.
Hit him in the back of the head. He's too cautious so far. Gotta work on the inside.
You gotta use it out there at least to throw something, and you could go to his body. He's tired. He's more tired than you. He's more tired than you. You gotta suck it up. The only thing he throws is bomb here and there.
Yes.
If you allow him to. If you allow.
Great fighter too, Bear.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Meantime, we come to round 7 here, and a fight that has changed dramatically in the last couple rounds.
Foster does not appear to be favoring, though, that right shoulder.
He doesn't.
He's leading with the jab. He's definitely going to have to show us some of those veteran tricks to keep Ismailov at bay.
But doesn't it, Raul, if you just start thinking about it, if he did in fact hurt his shoulder, and it's just kind of in the back of your mind, that changes everything, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's a mental breakdown for him. But hey, listen, it's boxing. At that point, you just got to go for broke. I mean, you can't give up in the corner. You can't say I don't want to fight. I mean, then they're going to stop the fight. You just got to be mentally strong and throw. That's all you can do. There's been times that when I was fighting, I was hurt. My hands hurt. And the guy that I was fighting had a hard head, but guess what? I have to keep throwing.
Yeah.
It's either that or take the loss.
That's what his corner told him. Let's bring in Steve Farhood once again. Steve.
Larry, I have the 5th round being a key round, 10-8 for Ismailov. That made it even on my card, and now Ismailov, I gave him the 6th as well, so I have him inching ahead. He seems to have the momentum, and he's certainly busier and still landing to the body and the head with the bigger punches. So he's up 1 point on my card, and he has some momentum too.
I would agree with that.
Yep, I got it
Absolutely
just like
agree with that.
Mr. Steve Farhood.
As do I.
The Hall of Famer Steve Farhood.
That's right. Thanks, Steve. We'll get back to you, of course.
Something to watch here as referee Charlie Fitch warned Foster once again for throwing those looping shots that connect to the side or the back of the head.
Break! No punches!
Well, Ismailov, without question, has shortened the distance. Not sure what Ismailov is complaining about here.
Ismailov's got to be careful. He's got to keep his eye on the action at all times to protect himself. I've seen him a few times look over to the crowd, acknowledge someone talking from a distance.
That and a little bit of too much complaining, I believe, Brian.
Confidence and strong body language if Foster has returned this round.
Much better, yeah. Again, we talk about pivotal rounds, and here we are in another one. Chopping right hand did get there, but Foster keeps coming.
Break! No punches, no punches.
Oh, nice
Good left
counter,
hand.
yeah.
Break, break, clean, clean.
Took a step back and Ismailov ran right into that left hand.
Much better round for Foster. Wow, I didn't know that.
Hey, represented H-Town. H-Town, baby.
You started it,
Houston.
man. You started it.
No, George Foreman did.
Oh, that's true.
George Foreman.
Well, but when he started, he was living in Oakland.
I have to say, Raul, the chemistry between you and Steven Jackson on that Fight Towns episode, I smell a buddy cop movie coming between the two of you.
No question.
Well, we have chemistry on TV, and we got chemistry outside of our TV duties, too. You know, we like to do the fiesta.
Meantime, this fight now is taking on a different tune here.
Ismailov came in here with a lot of hype. Yes, he scored a very key knockdown in round 5. But really has been unable to build upon that momentum in any kind of significant way.
Strong jab by Ismailov, but again, Foster's had an answer every time. Sharp,
nice
hand from Foster.
Good trading here at close range.
Well, the power of Ismailov obviously not really affecting Foster. Seems willing to exchange with him here.
Well, Foster's back to throwing that jab again. I
Yeah.
mean, he's overcome that pain, or you know, he's mentally strong, or maybe he just, you know, when the heat of the moment, maybe you don't feel it anymore. It's there, but he's like, I gotta throw. I have no choice.
Right now, he's outworking Ismailov.
He is.
He's not afraid to stand right in front of him doing it either.
Absolutely. Well, his jab is more effective, way more effective than Ismailov's.
Like he said he would. He said he was gonna test him, and he keeps testing him.
This has been a gritty, smart, and breakthrough performance so far.
Oh, that was a push. That was a dirty push by Ismailov.
He's getting a little frustrated.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is, Barry. That's what it is, because he was getting hit with fast, explosive combinations from Foster.
Box! Foster refusing to touch gloves.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
A little backhanded jab and then a left hand behind it. Foster going right back to what he did earlier in the fight.
Yeah, very accurate with that left hand and snapping Ismailov's head back. Ismailov is losing it. The more he loses, the worse it'll be. It'll be downhill for him.
A low blow from Foster at that time. Really effective round, I thought.
That's a Foster round for sure.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do, win the round, baby.
Nice round.
Wonderful, doing beautiful. Just don't stay if you're not gonna do nothing. If you're gonna do something, if you get inside what you want to or you jab, and you're inside, you know he don't want to work inside. He don't even throw when you're inside. You gotta work. Touch your stomach. Yeah. Breathe. You got great body shots. Dig them, dig them, dig them. Turn. Even if it's a little stuff inside.
Oh, they're both guys banging heads there. And getting a little bit rough. Ismailov kind of losing it, losing control, getting frustrated. The more frustrated he gets, he's going to keep sinking in that hole, and it's going to be better for Foster. I think Foster has a good momentum going, guys. He's
Right now
banging
he
that
does.
jab again.
Yep. Well, I think the fight's coming down to these last 2 rounds here.
Oh, for sure, Barry.
Again, Foster caught Ismailov on the way in, and then he caught him with the counter right hand.
Break!
Gotta be honest, this was the fighting range I thought would be a very big problem for Foster.
Exactly, but he's entertaining that, and he's doing great doing that.
Yeah, he is.
It's those long arms, it's the confidence, but it's also the timing. He's catching Ismailov as he ducks in, time and again with that left hand.
If you look at Ismailov's face, you see the frustration. You see he's worried. It's been too easy for him in the past, maybe. I don't know that he's never fought a guy that gave him different looks like Foster.
It's not that he's fought weak competition, it's just that he's excelled and shined.
Hey, styles make fights, and Foster has that style that's given Ismailov a lot of problems.
Well, I mean, everybody goes into a fight with a game plan. Not everybody executes it. And what Foster has done here is execute a perfect game plan thus far. This round is a little closer. backhand from Foster.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Box.
Raul, how much does that take out of a fighter? Being dropped, feeling the other fighter's weight on top of you when you go down in the middle of a fight.
It drains you. It could be draining, especially at this point. It's a 9th round. I mean, these guys have endured a lot of punishment. I mean, they worked. They threw a lot of punches. Then going down like that, it's hard to get up. It's work. It's work.
Break. No punch. Please.
Well, speaking of work, Foster told us despite a lot of the inactivity in recent years, he's in the gym every single day. We talked about his schedule, Barry. Wake up at 4:30, go to work, but still put in those miles and that time in the gym.
Yeah,
and it's paying off right now.
Get home at 1:30, picks up his kids, helps his kids with their homework. Then he goes to the gym at 6:30, comes back home at 8:30 or 9, has a bite with his wife, goes to bed, gets up again to get to work at dedication. In the morning, I'll tell you.
Hit me behind the head. I think that Foster just hit him behind the head. And that was intentionally. I mean, I don't know. I think he. Wow.
That's a close round.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a close round, Barry.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
I'm not a judge.
Last round. Last round. Grab another water.
Don't let him hunt you. Give me some water. Don't let him hunt you down. All right, breathe.
Ali, last round. You gotta let your hands go, all right? Whatever you gotta do, get this guy out. Let those hands go. He's grabbing you. He's grabbing you all the time. Let your hands go.
Last round, we'll touch gloves.
Keep moving your head. Punch in the inside. Punch in the inside. You have to punch in the inside. Steal the round. He's going like this. He's going like this. He's pulling out from you. Touch that stomach.
Move that head. Let those hands go. Last round.
You don't want to work inside. Touch that stomach both sides. Let's go.
Touch gloves. Touch gloves here, guys. Let's see you guys. Touch gloves.
Doesn't seem to be much love lost between these two guys.
Drop that neck, Ali. Break! Break!
I don't know about you guys, but I got the fight dead even, and it's about who wants it more here. And I don't know. Whoever wins this round probably wins the fight, or it could be a draw. I don't know. It's a close fight.
I've got Foster a little bit more comfortably ahead.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I think that 9th round is one of those rounds that could decide this fight one way or another. Be interesting to see how Steve Farhood scored that 9th round.
Well, we're seeing a bit of urgency here from Ismailov early.
John David Jackson did tell him, you got to let your hands go. Let your hands go.
I see it a little different than you guys. I see Ismailov ahead. I've given him most of the rounds in the second half of the fight. But regardless of who you have ahead, one thing to keep in mind, with the 10-8 round in the 5th, assuming everything else is 10-9 the rest of the way, this will not be a draw.
Really interesting. Interesting scoring. I could see yours. I could see the judges being completely diverse. Thank you, Steve. For whatever it's worth, I have Foster ahead by 2 points.
No punches, no.
Regardless of how this ends, this has definitely been a learning experience for Ali Ismailov.
Foster landing that left hand. His punches are a lot more clearer.
Break! Stop punching.
Coming down inside the final minute.
Break!
And again, this is another one of those rounds. You know, toss a coin.
See which fighter can finish stronger here in the final 30 seconds. The only 3 set of scorecards that matter are those 3 gentlemen sitting ringside.
What a finish.
All the way to the end.
Yeah.
All the way to the end more for Foster, I think.
It's just amazing. Just a really interesting fight.
I took this one going forward. What you think? No bad man? No bad man, baby.
Ismailov still not interested in having tea with Foster.
See there in the far left of Foster's corner, his younger brother, William Foster III, unbeaten 130-pound fighter. We saw him victorious in his ShoBox debut last year.
Yep.
See if Charles Foster can keep the family's unbeaten streak alive on ShoBox. Let's take a look back here at the action over 10 spirited rounds. Round 3, good use of the left hand from distance from Foster. There's a lot of key tying up to avoid the big shots of Ismailov. The action was very close and competitive. We go to round 5, and this was the big turn on the cards as Ismailov scored a knockdown in the final seconds. He maybe got a bit too confident there in the next round with the gloves behind his back. For all the talk of the power of Ismailov, Foster was very spirited in return, catching him on the way in with clean left hands. And as the clinching continued, we saw frustration from Ali Ismailov, tossing Foster to the canvas in 2 consecutive rounds. But in the final round, Ismailov throwing big, Foster standing up to him. And how important will be that big right hand in the final seconds from Ismailov? Could it swing round 10? Could it swing the fight? We'll find out.
We're going to find out right now as we go once more to the center of the ring. Here is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Tom Schreck, scores about 95 to 94. Glenn Feldman and Don Ackerman both scored about 96 to 93. All three in favor of the winner, and still the undefeated USBA light heavyweight champion, Ali Ismailov.
So there is your winner, Ali Ismailov. And it was, as Steve Farhood pointed out, Ismailov wins a very close decision, and I'm sure he's going to walk out of here thinking, I was a pretty lucky guy. Let's bring Steve Farhood in for a moment. Let's talk about the judges' card, and let's talk about your card, Steve.
Well, Barry, I'm just doing the tallies now, and it looks like the judges agreed on 5 of the 10 rounds, so there was a healthy disagreement there. We take a look at the official cards first, and you see that all 3 judges gave Ismailov the 10th based on that last punch, I guess, and that gave him the win on Tom Schreck's card. He already had enough on the cards of Ackerman and Feldman. As far as my card goes, I had the same as 2 of the judges, 95, 94, same as 1 of the judges. For Foster, for Ismailov, very close fight. And I think ultimately the right hands to the body and the knockdown in round 5 were the difference for Ismailov in a close fight that probably could have gone either way.
Yeah, I think so too. Steve, thanks very much. Thanks for everything this whole evening. And let me turn for a moment to Raul Marquez here and say it was an excellent fight to begin with. Whichever way you scored it, whichever way you saw it, it was an excellent fight, and you could have made a case for either guy.
Yeah, for all accounts, I had Foster winning the other way around, 95-94. I think he took control of the fight. I think he frustrated Ismailov a lot with his long jab and with his left hand, the way he was landed. I think he landed just the better shots. But it was a learning experience for both fighters. And I know for Ismailov, as much as they don't want to hear it, but he's got a lot to learn. You know, they were talking about